I'm not drunk, I'm just drink.
Dude, there's something wrong with my throat.
Yeah, it's dry, Steve. Cheers.
Cheers.
There we go. Steve and I are breaking the rules.
We're breaking the... What rule are we breaking?
And we're having a drink this episode. Well,
Can we get
rules.
demonetized?
No, there's no rules, but we stopped drinking on the show for a while because we were getting too tired and sloppy. But this...
No rules, just right.
Yeah, like Outback Steakhouse over here. I don't know about your week, but I've been having a stressful week, and I'm just like... I walked in here, I'm like, I don't think I can do this in my current state. And I'm not getting drunk, but I just needed to have a little bit of something to help me through. That sounds terrible.
It does.
It sounds like I'm alcohol. Like we should start over. I shouldn't be saying any of these things. Hi, I'm Ryan.
Are we starting over?
No, we're just doing it. I'm committing.
And I'm Steve, and this is 60 Seconds on the Guitar Buying, Selling, Trading, Modding, Fixing, Breaking, Reviewing, Playing, Drinking podcast. No, I don't think we definitely haven't drank liquor since we finished off the liquor from the 400th episode.
Yeah. Well, it's been what, like 6 months, 5 months, something like that. I feel like we finished it off pre-New Year.
It was pre-New Year, but I don't remember how long.
It's been quite a while. We've been dry on this podcast for months and months and months, and it just felt like this needed a little spot of something. Not a lot, just a little bit.
Well, you know
just
what?
Something to celebrate. I'm doing something different for the day.
You know what, Ryan?
What?
This ad was sent to us by Aaron Griffith. This is a 1978 Hondo bass. It's been refinished in, they called this color surf green. Is that surf green?
No, this is like surf blue. It's beautiful, though. Whatever they want to call it is beautiful. They've got this like aqua blue. It's like a Caribbean reef, sand under the water blue with a bright pink moto pick guard.
Oh, that's like the perfect complementary color for this.
This is beautiful. There's a lot of details over here that we'll get into. They want $1,000 for this thing, more than $1,000 after shipping.
Yeah. I mean, it's in Sweden, so shipping's going to cost a lot.
But it's a Hondo. It's a Hondo 2, the sequel to Hondo. Remember when Hondo 1 came out? What year did Hondo come out?
1969.
And this is a sequel to that.
1970. Well, so what's weird is I don't really know why it was.
Are we talking about the movie, or are we talking about the beginnings of Hondo?
The movie is like 1953, I think.
We were discussing before hitting record whether or not the Hondo guitar brand was named after the John Wayne movie Hondo.
You know, what it could be is maybe the guys who founded Hondo, because they were these American guys. Maybe they were big basketball fans, and they named this guitar after John Hondo Havlicek.
I've never heard that name in my entire life.
John Havlicek. His nickname was Hondo. He played for the Boston Celtics.
No idea. So anyways, we've got a P-bass style thing here. Clearly it's been refinished. Clearly it's been like fixed up in all sorts of different ways, all sorts of various different modifications. I mean, first of all, it's got a great big mudbucker in the neck position.
Yep.
Then some sort of fancy looking P-bass pickups. The original, when this was stock, it had like a mini bucker pickup, because I've got a screen grab of a reverb listing for original one.
And I don't know about Hondo, but in general, those like mini buckers are just like
a single coil,
a jumble of wire and bobbin inside of a metal. You know,
it's like someone screwed up stuffing a Dan Electro lipstick, and they're like, "Here, just put it in a mini bucker case." They're like, we tried to push it in the lipstick, and all the wires got frayed and it got, bloomed everywhere.
But I mean, a lot of the time they were just single coil. Maybe they were right. Maybe they were like super overwound single, like a lot of windings, but they were single.
This has some. We're
single coils.
Great shape this episode. It has some sort of modern high mass saddle bridge on it. It's got two outputs on it. I don't know if we'll read to find out what that is. 3 knobs and a little switch.
It's mono and stereo.
So you can split the pickups. Is what I'm assuming.
I don't know. I'm not sure if that's for pickup splitting or if it's just you're sending both one or both signals at once.
And then it's got some scalping on half the fretboard down starting on the 14th fret.
Yep. Is it 14? 15. It's on the 15th.
Is that the 15th?
Yeah. So that's what makes this a Billy Sheehan style.
Right.
He did do, I think, the 2 pickup, like the neck middle configuration, but the scalloping.
Oh, and there's
is
2
the big Billy Sheehan thing.
push pole pots on it for balance.
Yeah. I don't know what balance and
this is
tone
a very specific wiring thing that they did. I have to admit, like, I'm kind of hot on the look of that original Hondo that I found the screen grab of. I love that, like, yellow to red stripe to black edge burst.
Oh, balance is just it's blend.
Oh, okay.
Like between the 2 pickups. I'm pretty sure that's what they mean by balance.
And I love that the reason I grabbed the ad that I did as a price comparison is because it has the fender style headstock, which this modified one does. So I wanted to make sure I got one from a similar era that had the fender style headstock, because later models have, like, you know, post lawsuit, like, you know, headstocks that don't look like anything really.
I feel like the later Hondo headstocks are gross.
Oh, they make me feel sick to even think about them, to remember what they look like. But this great big fat take on the fender headstock is super classy, especially with the Hondo 2 logo on there. It's like an inlaid Hondo 2 logo too. It's like it's Moto or it's Pearl or something like that.
Yeah, it's some kind of
thing. You think these are aftermarket tuners on here?
Is there a shot of the back of them?
No, but the front looks very, very clean.
It's really clean, but if they're aftermarket, they look like I think they're aftermarket. I was gonna say they look like the kind that should be on here, but the reality is that this style of bass, or the Hondo 2 basses in general, tended to have the little rectangle. These ones, I guess it's hard to say.
They look.
These ones have the same tuners. The 1970 have like the Fender style big open gear tuner.
But I'm saying that they look so clean. I think they might be new. Sure, because they should have some sort of speckling.
I see what you're saying. Yeah,
you know, it doesn't matter if they're an upgraded style. Like, they are so incredibly clean. I wouldn't believe that they're original. There's no way, because there's plenty of scratches and dents and dings
in the neck,
the neck, around the edges of the body, and as the body's been refinished over dings and stuff, you can see little dings.
The parts kind of like mishmashed though, like the screws don't all look. Maybe it's just the photo, but the screws don't all look the same.
We gotta get a Sherlock Holmes type on this to figure out where all these screws came from. This is important. But yeah, the big question is, with all these modifications and making this thing look beautiful, I mean, you've got new pickups that are probably way better than the original pickup.
Yeah.
A really intensely custom wiring situation going on with the 2 outputs and switches and push-pulls and things like that. You've got a somewhat decent looking refin. It might be a rattle can refin, but it looks competent. It's done over a dinged up body, but it still comes across as like, this is kind of classy and works really well. I love the look of the pickguard combined with it. And then the scalping on the neck. You've got all these details where it's like, can you justify paying twice as much versus stock condition of this bass guitar? I'd bet that it's easily like twice as good as far as tones go, and probably playability. This is probably dialed in really, really nice. Maybe not playability. Maybe playability is pretty dang similar. But as far as sound goes, I bet this is a huge improvement.
So there are a couple different versions of the Yamaha Billy Sheehan. They start at $1,800 on Reverb. Though you can get an advertisement for one.
Do they have mud buckers in the neck?
They just look like they have a normal.
There's
a 2000s version that has a mud bucker.
Okay.
So there's like different versions of this concept. You can get a miniature Yamaha Attitude bass in Sonic Blue for $40. So from that perspective, like if you wanted to do this thing,
the labor is definitely worth at least $500. If you bought that $500 one that's in stock condition and you took it to a tech and said, I want a refin, I want these pickups, I want this wiring, and I want the neck scalloped in this specific way, which is, the scalloping looks amazing, by the way. I love the look of that.
It looks really well done.
It would be way over $500.
For sure.
You wouldn't even come close to $500 to get that stuff done.
This is where I'm at on this. Is this worth $1,000? Maybe
it is if someone will pay it.
Sure. I think this is like in the space of where what's the order? Like I'd have to play this. If I went into a store and played this and it was $1,000, I could see this being like I could see playing it and being like, all right, yeah, fine, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna spend $1,000 on this, and hopefully, because it is a Hondo, it's already a vintage instrument. Maybe someday it's never going to be.
I mean, vintage
worth $1,000. Let's be honest.
Is Hondo vintage? It's old. Technically, it's old.
You're right.
Like this is old. This is technically a 50-year-old instrument.
Yeah.
Is it like vintage is old plus desirability?
Sure.
This has become more desirable than it was because of the modifications, but in its natural state, it's worth $500, which is about the price of various entry-level basses.
This is still on Reverb. It was listed 3 months ago. It's been up for 3 months.
Well, clearly it's overpriced because no one's buying it. So we can't sit here and debate whether or not it's overpriced or not.
And you can't even, you can only add it to cart.
You can't
make an offer on it.
Right.
So
is it still the same price?
$960 and 53 cents.
Yeah. It's I wonder where the right price is, because this is clearly not the right price. People aren't going for it.
I think the right price is probably if we were to assume that $495 is the right price for the other one.
How long has the other one been up?
Oh, it doesn't. There's not enough info.
Listed a year ago.
Oh, there it is, right there, a year ago. So even the price on that's probably wrong.
There's only been one offer on it. Yeah, the price on that is super off. If it's listed a year ago, I wonder what they would take.
Well, apparently they didn't take whatever the offer was. My guess, without thinking, like what I would pay for a Hondo II Pro Series 2 bass, even from 1970 on Craigslist, would probably be like, tops would be like $350.
Right.
So my thought on this pink or this blue and pink one is like top 600.
I'm seeing a Hondo II P bass for $380 on eBay. I'm seeing one for $299, and then those are the only two listings. So right. Yeah, I think this stock condition one probably needs to move at 300. Yeah. Or 325, something like that. And I think you might be right, like probably 600-ish for this modified one. And it's clearly someone put a ton of work into it. It's clearly worth more than that as far as labor goes. But as far as desirability, no, I guess not. Like the market has decided it's not worth that.
The unfortunate reality of this kind of thing, right, is, and this is the thing when people always say, oh, what's a guitar pedal? It's just, it's just a bunch of parts that somebody slapped together, and it's $25 in parts or whatever.
Right.
But there's like this assumption there, like I guaranteed I can make systems that would be tighter. Well, like think about it. Like
what point are you getting at?
When we did the Stevens and Burke heads, we built them. What did that take? Like 2 hours, an hour?
Right, the kits. Yeah,
the kits. I forget how long that video was. I feel like it was like 2 hours. So if you think about that at like standard, like what a standard labor is for a person with the skills to do it, what is that, like $30, $40
sure.
an hour?
Sure, you're doing minimum wage.
So you're talking about like $80, like say $60 to $80 of just straight labor on top of your $25 on parts. So now you've got a
that doesn't include
$105 pedal.
That doesn't include the R&D labor.
Sure.
You know,
which at some point you pay that off. All of that. What I'm getting at is for this, like, yeah, it's not worth it. But like when you're kind of doing this guitar thing, unfortunately, the cost of labor has to be accounted for at some point. But when you do it yourself and then you're trying to sell it on the used market, the labor kind of just vanishes.
Here's what I think this guy should do. The seller should do.
Okay.
They should either they either need to decide if they're actually going to sell it or if they're going to keep it, because they have it listed at they're going to keep it price. Like,
right.
Clearly no one's pulling the trigger on this. They're not open to taking offers because they have that option turned off on Reverb. If they still love this sort of loadout, but they're not in love with the bass, maybe they don't love the neck. Maybe they don't love the feel of the body or whatever. They need to just pull this pick guard, slap a standard, whatever cheap P-bass pick guard they can find that's preloaded off of Amazon,
right?
Like some $40, $50 thing, slap it on there, relist this for $350. Just move the body. It's got some scalloping on the neck. Someone will pick it up for $300 or something like that. Then they've kept the pick guard. They can throw that onto any Fender P-bass that they find. If they want to get a really nice one, they have a custom pick guard ready to go for it. I bet they can find one similar to this color, at least like a nice colorful color that this pick guard will go with. And they can just recommit it to a guitar that they like. They're losing the scalloping. Yeah. They're losing their refinish. Yeah. But they'll actually move this guitar. Otherwise, they just need to decide to keep it because no one's going to pay that price.
You know what I think the owner of this guitar should do?
What?
Of this bass?
What do you think they should do, Steve?
Join a Huey Lewis and the News cover band.
Yeah, I'm all for that. I think everyone should do that.
Yeah, well, there you go.
That's a great idea, Steve. All right, we've solved this one.
Solved it.
We'll be waiting for a check in the mail for our consultation fee.
Yeah. I got Huey Lewis on the brain because I got the Ghostbusters theme song stuck in my head.
Oh yeah, that Huey Lewis song.
Yeah,
it definitely is. Huey Lewis is I want a new drug.
Yeah. Let's do some housekeeping. Yeah. You guys?
Yeah. Let's do some housekeeping.
All right. Housekeeping is a part of the show where we thank the folks who financially contribute to this show. Of course, we appreciate everyone who sends in ads and songs and whatnot, but we like to take a special moment to thank those folks. You can support the show over at patreon.com/60cyclehumcast. Pay for our food, pay for other things, just like these folks did at the $10 level. We got Barry. He's new in the inner circle.
Hi, Barry.
And at the $1 level, we have Christopher James Burnside.
And Mr. Burnside is himself.
Yeah.
At the $1 level?
At the $1 level.
Amazing.
And of course, when you get on, when you support us through Patreon.
I was just listening to a show the other day. That's from This Is Rad, right? That's Burnside.
That's a different Burnside.
Is it totally different Burnside?
I think so.
There's more than one Burnside?
I hope.
All right.
Maybe I'm wrong. There's no picture. I can't know.
There's no picture. All right. We'll find out later.
Of course, everyone who supports the program, we put their name on the credits crawl at the end of the show.
Yeah. So you get to be on screen.
Yeah.
On your phone, on your computer, on your home television. You'll see your name come down the screen as a song is played at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
It's an amazing perk. It's an amazing reward to financially supporting
it really is
your favorite guitar podcast.
I think we're actually like one of the few gear channels that actually does that. I don't know if that's true.
We're the only podcast that does that.
We are the only podcast.
We're the only podcast giving a return on your dollar when you support us with Patreon. No one else does.
I'm pretty sure we're like the worst Patreon.
Pretty bad.
For
pretty
the perks
terrible
that we have.
Yeah. You support us because you want to help, right?
Yeah. Actually, I'm in a one of the Patreons I do. before I move on.
Yeah.
One of the Patreon groups I'm in, the perk is that you get to be in a behind the scenes group chat. But it's a behind the scenes group chat where all of the hosts have acknowledged that sometimes the members of the chat get a little like too talkative. And so they will mute the chat for like days or weeks at a time. So basically they don't read any of the conversations. They're just gone.
You know what I should do?
But the whole point is to have access to the hosts. But then the hosts actively ignore the chat.
As a Patreon perk, I should set up a webcam in here. This just runs 24 hours a day.
Oh my gosh.
No audio and not close enough that you can see like what exactly I'm doing, but just like a webcam in the corner of the room, like you can see, oh, he's filming something. He's in there doing something.
This just sounds like something you should. It's going to be a link to like your Omegle or whatever account. Omegle? Is it Omegle?
I don't know what that is.
Those ones were like Omegle is one of the ones where like you randomly chat with a random person.
Oh,
chat roulette.
I don't know.
All right. Anyway, this episode's also brought to you by this thing.
Not that thing, but the people behind it.
The people behind it.
That's right.
60 Cycle Hum. That's us.
Big ear pedals.
Oh,
Steve.
big ear pedals. Of course, we came up with this stupid idea. They made it a reality. This is the Wacka. It's a 9-stage
boost pedal. It's 9 boosts in one pedal, and you just mash your foot into it. Acorn Amps recently came out with a fuzz that's it's not 9.
Is that actually out?
I think it's like 12 fuzz pedals. It's a similar look. It's a bigger pedal than this, but I feel like we need to get them together. I don't know if they actually are producing it or if it was a one-off as a gag.
I didn't think it was actually out yet.
It might not actually be out yet.
I think you just spoiled it.
But no, they've been teasing it. They've got it on Instagram and stuff like that. But if you want to stay up on when these things may become available again, because we might do another run, they're apparently starting to get shipped out. Well, actually, when this episode goes up, they will have been shipped out, I think, because this episode comes out in like 3 weeks or something. Yeah. We're recording it ahead of time because of NAMM and scheduling and stuff like that. So hopefully there's all sorts of pictures of this out there on Instagrams and Facebooks and stuff like that, as all of you are getting your Wackos. If you want to stay on top of possible future runs, if you missed it, or you want to run 2 in stereo or cascading into each other for some awful reason, then follow Big Ear Pedals on all their social medias, get on the email list and stuff like that.
This episode's also brought to you by Stringjoy.
That's right, Steve.
These strings are crafted in Nashville, Tennessee. Did you know that?
I did know that because you say it every episode.
Did you know these strings are played on stages worldwide?
Yeah, I knew that.
Head on over to stringjoy.com. They got custom string machines there. Not machines, but like you go on the website.
They do have their own machines, though, Steve.
They do. They do have their own machines.
Did you know?
Those aren't the machines I was talking about.
Did you know, though, Steve, and you there in the audience, did you know that a lot of brands of strings don't actually wind their own strings?
Yeah.
It's an OEM thing. They all order from the same factories. Not Stringjoy. They own their machines. They don't even lease them. They own them. They might lease them. I don't know that. I don't know their internal business workings.
When you said lease, I was thinking like they were doing OEM.
No, they have their own string machines on site. They dial them in. They have hands on strings coming in and out of the machines, setting up the machines and setting them to wind the strings the way that they want them wound, using the materials they want to use. And you can use their custom string builder on their website to put together sets that are absolute nonsense that no one should ever want to order, but you dreamt it one night and now you can make it reality. Go visit Stringjoy. Use our link in the description so that we can make a little bit of money off that affiliate link. And you know what? Tell us about your strings in the comments when you get them. I want to hear about them.
This ad was sent by Chris Creel.
This is, the broken neck.
It's a broken neck. This is a broken neck. Neck was broken too, and we glued it quite a while back. Does need to be redone. Wood between frets shows streaks from where previous owner used tape when it broke. Has good truss rod cover, string tension bar, and locking nut. No locks, blocks, or keys included. They're asking for $30 plus $20 shipping for this.
I feel like if you break a neck and then it breaks again in the same spot, just move on. It's done. Like, give up. It's okay. It's okay to give up.
I'm trying to see a good picture of the fretboard because they...
Well, here you go, Steve.
Wait, what?
This thing broke. This isn't
That's not what I thought they meant.
No, this is not a Gibson brake where like, oh, you know, that breaks that way all the time, or just take it to a tech and they know how to fix the Gibson brake. No, the neck ripped in half like peeling a banana peel off. Like the headstock broke off, but it took half the fretboard with it. Like this
this is wild.
It's not worth saving.
So when they
it's an old Squier neck, but come on, it's not worth saving.
So where it says wood between frets shows streaks from where previous owner used tape. Oh, okay. Jeez, man. Because I'm looking at like
They probably tried to use super glue. And
that's why it broke again?
And they taped it up real tight. And the moment that they put strings on it, like it pulled it apart again, you know, like, because if this had been wood glue, we would see like just wood splintering going on stuck to the back of that fretboard. You know, this is, I don't know what they used to repair it.
You're saying you don't think this is worth $50.
Is that what they have it listed for?
Well, once you ship.
Shipping. Unless, I mean, it could be a luthier special if some luthier out there has the model Squier that this came off of. And they're like, well, if I could get that up and running, then, you know, then I can swap the neck in, and because I'm missing the neck, I'm missing the correct neck for this thing.
Nobody's in the hunt for a 1989 Korean Squier HM Strat.
No.
Not that much in the hunt.
No one wants this. It's not worth. This is firewood. This is firewood, right?
I think it's firewood.
I'm
sad. I am sad about it.
No, I'm with you. I'm a fan of Squier, and this, I've never actually seen this headstock or this logo.
I think they only ran it for like a year or two. The logo I know, but like this headstock shape, I think they only did for a year or two. I think only on the heavy metals.
It's trying to be an Ibanez style thing here. Yeah. No, it's not worth it. Just burn it in the fireplace. If you love looking at the headstock, bolt it to the wall. You know, it's a wall hanger at this point. Like it's not worth salvaging at this point.
Every time you say no, I think of The Happening.
No.
Yeah. What are you here to? What's the old lady saying?
I don't think I never actually watched that movie.
But you know what I'm talking about?
I think so.
What? No. The Mark Wahlberg. Yeah. I've never seen that movie either.
Then how do you know about it?
Because I know the meme.
Oh, okay.
I only know the meme. What? No.
I know more about Mark Wahlberg hitting a Korean man so hard that he went blind than I know about The Happening. Mark Wahlberg physically assaulted 2 Korean people on the same day. The first one he robbed and then beat up. And the second one, he asked them to help him hide from the cops. And then after they helped him hide from the cops, then he hit that person so hard that they went blind.
Dang.
Screw that guy. I don't, without knowing that, I don't want to watch Marky Mark in anything. He ruins everything I see him in.
Planet of the Apes?
Yeah.
Transformers?
Yeah. I love everything about that Planet of the Apes reboot except for Marky Mark. I love all I love all them monkeys, all them crazy monkeys in there. You kidding me? All the set pieces, I think underrated, except for Marky Mark. He made it worse.
All right, Ryan, what's new?
What is new? We agree. No one should buy that neck. It should be for the fireplace.
Screw that neck.
Don't screw it. Don't even glue it.
Yeah, just trash.
Burn it. What is new? Last time we talked, I was on a speaker quest.
Speaker quest,
because I had that old crate combo that you put together.
It's not in here.
No, it's not.
Is it outside?
It's at the practice space. It's at the practice space. That's
Fancy.
Right. My band has a practice space. I'm paying $125 a month to store some stuff.
You're paying $125 a month so other people who rent the practice space can use your stuff.
Well, it's only our band using it. It's one band in there. It's so I don't have. It's so we can stay set up and not have to haul back and forth. We were using a practice space where you pay per use, and we wanted to set up like a PA and stuff like that. Okay. And it's like we didn't like the other space, so I swapped out all those speakers I swapped in a Jensen neodymium thing because I've been loving the neodymium cab that came with the St. James.
Oh, right, yeah.
And then I put in an Eminence Swamp Thang.
Swamp Thang!
So I have those both in there, and I went to practice this past weekend.
Yeah.
Holy hell, it made a huge difference.
Flamethrower, huh?
Like totally different sound out of that cab now. Way more volume on tap. I actually had to turn the volume down like 10% at least, maybe 15%.
Wow.
Because it was just like, wow, this is moving air now.
You use channel 1, right?
I've been using the channel that has the reverb and the trim on it.
That's channel. Oh no, that's channel 2.
That's channel 2. I mean, it doesn't matter because the reverb's fried on the amp. And I don't use the trim, but I just instinctively plug in there.
Fried?
Yeah, I should probably. The pan probably needs to be replaced or something like that.
Breaking my stuff. Does it not work, or when you turn it on, it just sounds bad?
It just doesn't. It pass a reverb sound.
I wonder if it's in like a weird switch state.
I don't know.
It might have been left in a weird switch state.
What does that mean?
Because there's a foot switch input, and it might be one of those things where if there's no switch, if there's no,
I'll try that.
or maybe it only works on channel 1.
No, because the channel 2 has the reverb and the trim.
I don't remember.
I'll bring a switch with me next time I go, and I'll try that with the foot switch, because that might honestly be it.
I remember used to want to either, I forget if it was the tremolo or the reverb would only work with the foot switch.
Right. So big surprise, speakers make a huge difference.
Yeah,
Everyone already knew that, but like the acoustic amp with the old speakers was already so crazy loud for use with Dinosaur Ghost that I assumed like, oh, it's probably going to be fine. Like, you know, it sounds fine for Dinosaur Ghost because I'm sitting in a very specific place in the mix compared to everyone else in the band, where like and it's all very clean guitar. This band is got a lot of distortion, a lot of modulation, a lot of reverb and delay where you want to hear more definition and stuff. And it was just getting lost in this mud and murk with those original crate speakers.
Right.
And so, yeah, it was like a $300 investment on my part. I probably could have just bought a whole new cab for $300 that would have come loaded with greenbacks or something like that.
Yeah.
But I wanted to have some fun. I kind of really like the mojo of that cab. That, you know, front ported crate amp converted into a cab.
Got some weirdness.
It's got no grill on it. Just everything's raw and exposed.
I mean, now that you've got like $300 in speakers in it, you might want to figure out a grill situation.
Yeah.
I always wanted to get like the car speaker grills where it's just the grill that is the exact same as the speaker, like just a circle. So,
that'd be easy.
Yeah. Just install it. You just have to make sure it's like not gonna screw into where the speaker is.
I should put spinning rims on it.
Oh my gosh. Do you remember the visual sound amps that had the hubcap?
Yeah, because it was like a diffuser or something like that. Yeah. I need to try the acoustic control head with that St. James cab to see if it's similar in volume.
Compare.
Yeah.
Or you need to bring the St. James cab and that cab 4x12.
Stereo 4x12.
No, it'd still be mono.
No, but I can do 2 amps and split them stereo. Ultimate stereo rig. 2 fuzzes going into different amps. Stereo chorus, stereo reverb, stereo delay. Is there a stereo wah out there?
Technically, you wouldn't have any
stereo tremolo.
Oh no, you would. So you could do a non-stereo wet dry by just splitting stereo. Yeah, I guess you'd have to split stereo early and just run it in one into each input. So it'd be like stereo sum to mono on the acoustic.
Someone was trying to tell me the other day, or they were making an argument on someone else's post, like, oh, guitar is never truly stereo because it's from one input. I was like, what about stereo chorus? What about ping pong delay? What about stereo trim where it pans back and forth? Like, yes, the source, the guitar is mono.
Right.
But you can very easily and quickly make the signal be processed into stereo where very different, distinct things are happening on each side.
Yeah, you know, there's a case to be made that like
I don't want to haul a stereo rig around with two 2x12 cabs.
There's a case to be made that like if you're taking a stereo rig, and then you know at the PA it's being summed to mono, that you're not really running a stereo rig. But yeah, I think if you're summing it to mono, then it's not a stereo rig. Then you're just running you're running two rigs in parallel. Yeah, or if you're running like a mono output that gets split with like an ABY box to go to two different amps, and the only difference is your amps. You know, technically there's a stereo effect because those two amps will be in different locations, but you're not sending different signals to them. You're just EQing them differently at the location.
But
so
if
that's not really stereo.
If those amps are dirty, you're getting different grit on each side, which gives you a stereo width that is actually really cool. And if one is wet and one is dry, as far as reverb and effects goes, that is stereo.
Exactly. Or as soon as I think you throw in something that actually separates the signal, where in chorus it's going to be like moving back and forth.
If you shoot it to
ping pong delay or whatever.
If you shoot it to two identical amps, but they have different microphones on it, that's going to give you a stereo effect, even if the amps are crystal clear, clean. Sure. Like little differences, they'll give you a depth in your stereo mix. Mm-hmm. But yeah, like I would love to run a great big, loud, fuzzed out, delayed out reverb and chorused out stereo doom rig sort of thing.
Yeah.
But I don't want to load it into a car for gigs. I barely want to load one amp into a car for gigs, you know?
Yeah.
So no thank you on that one, even though, man, it would be amazing. Just baptism in fuzz, sonic baptism of fuzz and modulation and reverb.
There you go.
Oh, it's like I'm half chubby right now just thinking about it.
Wow.
Yeah. Can you imagine like rolling up to some little bar, some little dive bar gig, and you haul out two 2x12 amps?
You're gonna be like,
you're running stereo fuzz, one on each side of the little stage, just boom.
I mean, it was already enough of a problem every time somebody would roll into the park gallery with a 4x12, and I was just stand in the back going like, oh, hey, you want to put a mic on my amp? No,
I want your amp to be outside.
I remember we had one guy roll in like that, but he was running on like the line 6 insane channel the whole time, with like the mids at 0, and he's like, I don't understand why my guitar's not in the mix. Like I can't hear my guitar when the bass and the drums and everything else are going. I'm like, yeah, man, because like the cymbals,
you suck at tone.
Like the cymbals from the drums are drowning out all your highs, and the bass from the bass is drowning out all your lows, and you got nothing left.
So something that I did for my pedal board for the band for Vulture Shock.
So dumb.
I know. I put the DoD 10 band or 7 band EQ at the end of my pedal board.
Okay.
Because the acoustic control doesn't have a mid control.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to experiment with using this thing just to see like, if I want to tweak a little like frequency or something like that. Mm-hmm. It's back there right now. You can see how I have it tweaked. Just the tiniest little hump in the mid frequencies was the difference between that amp sounding flat and that amp sounding like just beautiful and dynamic and exciting. Like it sounded good before, but it sounded a little bit flat. But boosting those mids just a tiny little bit made a huge difference. You're going to need to get on top of it if you're going to take a good picture of the settings.
No, I'm not taking it. I'm looking at something else.
Okay. You're looking at how I'm missing the backplate?
No.
Oh, that's someone else's.
This is someone else's. So
whose is that?
Well, I'll tell you during what's new.
Oh, it's Copeland, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you went to go see Copeland. They have the same pedal as me?
This is a different, so the colors are inverted, but it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it's the 7 band.
Yeah.
But it's like the FX is black.
So mine is probably
it's an inverted
an earlier model or a later model. I broke the foot switch off of mine, and I replaced it. I replaced it with a momentary regular foot switch, which I thought was a fun mod.
So my what's new, first of all, that Flamma FX10, I used it.
Oh, what'd you think?
It was a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun, right? I've got mine right here.
Yeah.
I use these sorts of things all the time. I've got my Fender right here. I've got the Flamma. I've got the Pocket GT. I like this class of product.
Yeah.
I easily use more than anything.
I haven't like used the Bluetooth feature yet, but I at least like got it in. And
You gotta use the Bluetooth feature.
The drums are a lot of fun. I thought the built-in drums were like really fun. So I didn't get all the way into it.
Were you doing guitar or were you doing bass?
Guitar.
Okay.
Guitar. So I am interested in how it does bass.
Yeah.
I need to check that out.
I'm telling you, man, hook it up to Bluetooth, find your favorite song, jam along. It's like, it's going to be your new dad thing sitting on the couch late at night.
All right.
Yeah.
So, so I saw Copeland last weekend. My wife surprised me-ish with those tickets. Like, it was a surprise, but
Was it for your birthday?
Yeah, but I
Happy birthday,
spoiled
Steve.
it. Thanks.
That was weeks ago.
I know at this point. I like spoiled it because I told her, I was like, well, should I get on the waiting list for the San Diego show? Like, just in case. And if they end up getting open, then we'll just scramble for babysitting. And she was just like, no. I was like, okay.
Absolutely not.
I was like, she kind of, it ended up kind of giving it away. I guess that's my fault. But it was funny because at the end of the show, I went and took some pedal boards and pedal board picks. And so their longtime guitarist, Brian Lawrenson, who's actually the guy who did the Quiet Theory Prelude. So he's the guy behind Quiet Theory. His board is like, the newest pedal on there is the Cloudburst. He's playing through like a little Benson, so the Strymon Cloudburst.
He's got one of those newer Boss pedals on there.
He's got one of the Boss DD200.
200, yeah.
Quiet Theory Prelude, Benson preamp. This is a Walrus Julia 1981 DRV. The only like non-boutique thing is like the Micropog, and I guess like the SP comp, depending on whether or not you consider that. The other guitarist was running... this is unlabeled, but then a Julia, Quiet Theory. I think this is a Hungry Robot, Old Blood Noise Dweller, Keeley Comp
Plus.
Carbon Copy, Box of Rock.
You'll have to send me these pics for when I edit.
Dispatch Master.
Interesting. They're using a Ruby.
And then a Ruby.
The UA.
The UA Ruby.
Was he running direct?
I don't know, because this was on the other side of the stage. But what cracked me up is their singer... who by no means is like a tone slouch, but he's not doing any like ambient work. He's just like, he's doing the bread and butter work.
Right.
He's doing the rhythm work. DOD old ass 7-band EQ, just like yours. Different color scheme, but definitely same.
It's not
era.
even plugged in that picture.
Maybe it was. Oh yeah, that's weird. I don't know.
Sidelined.
Maybe it broke. DOD 250. I figured out
I know why it's not plugged in. He didn't bring the little dongle to plug in the power.
Oh.
Yeah, it needs the adapter.
No, is that?
No, I'm telling you, because if you look at mine, it needs a little like the 3.5 millimeter plug adapter.
So DOD 250 overdrive. I think that's one of the reissues.
Yeah, that's a reissue.
A Ibanez DE7. I had to stare at this one for a long time and look at pictures because it's all covered
a tone
up.
lock delay. But
it's one of the tone locks, and it's the only one that's 3 knobs and 2 switches is the DE7, and then a tuner. So
I think Blake Weiland's a huge fan of the DE7.
Oh, everyone should be a huge fan of the DE7.
All right.
If you've played, everyone I know who's played one is a huge fan.
All right. Okay. I believe you.
So basically, his guitar is just over the DOD and this, and I don't know what he was running into. I think he was running into a Fender, some kind of Hot Rod Deluxe or DeVille, which might be the same amp that he was running through, like when I saw them in San Diego like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's just funny to see like 2 super boutique, like put together boards. Like it's clearly well thought out, very expensive, and then just like
it's like I need a drive and a
DOD
delay.
250. Ibanez D7, probably basically been using that setup for the last 20 years.
I was like, I apparently don't need the 7-band EQ because I didn't even bring the power for it.
Yeah.
You know, see, I'm gonna say something controversial right now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think this episode needs a topic.
Well, you know what this episode does need?
What?
It needs us to talk about the Chase Bliss Audio mood.
That's right. That's the old mood. By the time this episode airs, maybe I'll have the new mood. And I'll have a new mood in my life. And I'll have 2 moods. The new mood has stereo. I could use it with my big old stereo rig that I really should not do. It's got smoother stuff going on. It's got all these features.
Output? What's this for?
It tells you on the front, Steve. It's for MIDI.
It's a MIDI, quarter-inch MIDI?
Yeah, there's adapters for it and stuff.
I've never...
It's for MIDI
I don't
control.
know anything about MIDI. So.
Neither do I. I never used that.
Mood. Don't buy this one. You can't.
You can't buy that
Go
one.
to chasebliss.com. Buy the new one.
But you can buy it used. There's probably a bunch going up used right now because people want the new one.
But you should buy the new one because it's better.
The old one is good. The old one is good too. If you want, because they do have different features.
But if you don't buy the new one, then Chase Bliss will cancel the sponsorship of the show.
That's not true.
It's not true at all.
I
read it, Ryan. I read it. I know.
Joel said he loves me.
Yeah.
And I said I love him. We're in love.
They're getting married at NAMM 2023.
We're gonna meet up at NAMM and hug each other.
Yeah, I mean that is true. I'm sure that is going to happen. I'm 100%. Actually, you're not going to meet up at NAMM because Joel's not coming to NAMM.
No, he's going to be in the area though. He's going to be. He's going to be.
But you're not going to meet up at NAMM.
Okay, Steve's just reading my emails, my personal emails.
Oh my gosh! Yes, your personal emails to 60 cycle.
We told each other we love each other, and you read it.
Yes, your very personal 60 cycle. Hey Ryan, can you make sure you have people send business emails to the? It's not my fault people tell you that they love you in business emails.
The moment when you saw that someone said they loved me
I don't
in an email, you should have been like, this isn't for me to read. But then you kept reading and you saw that I said, I love you back.
It was actually, I didn't see you say that. I only saw him.
I did. No, I did. I did say that I love him back. But anyways, this is the episode that's going live before we go to NAMM. I don't think we need a topic. It's going to be long enough. Fine. Let's just do the last ad and do a song. Get out of here.
This last ad was sent by Decoy661. This is an SG I was inspired to build after seeing Disney's Cruella with Emma Stone. The body is split black and white like Cruella's iconic yin-yang style haircut. That seems kind of racist.
I think that's fine.
I'm calling Yo, is this racist? And asking if calling Cruella's haircut yin-yang is racist.
It's not great. I think there's bigger things to worry about these days.
No, there definitely are. The back of the body with the pinstriping was modeled after Cruella's yellow little bit leather vest. The gold sparkle headstock is referencing Cruella's gold sparkle pants. Kind of goofy, but fun.
What is the weird little bit of Tort Pickguard referencing?
I'm not there yet. Maybe they'll say later. The neck pickup is a red lowrider gold foil, crisp and sparkly tone. The bridge is a Ken Armstrong mini humbucker that delivers a roaring punch. The tuning machines are Goto, vintage style. From white buttons, the bolt-on neck is an Epi SG, top load Golden Age bridge. The wiring is Fender Mustang. Oh, that's neat. Center position is off, left or right is on, and it's phased, so it's full-on Mustang wiring.
Wow.
There are several cosmetic issues, Ryan.
No kidding.
There are cracks and flaws in the nitro lacquer. I tried acrylic and polyurethane paints.
Oh, good thing this guy painted it with nitro so it'll sound good.
But they did not give me the appearance I wanted. I purposely added checking, which is typically only found on vintage guitars.
Ooh,
but it adds another cruel effect, like rippled leather. I understand this guitar is not typical, but if you want something that stands out, this is the guitar for you. I'd be grateful if it finds a new home for someone that will really enjoy it. It says on Reverb. Custom $750.
Yeah. The price is out of the question. My first objection to this is, why would anyone make a guitar themed after that? Honestly, pretty boring and not that fun direct to streaming adaptation movie drivel from Disney. Like I don't
note to self, I'm gonna watch this movie after I finish Chronicles of Riddick.
All right. The Riddick movies are great.
I watched Pitch Black because of you, and then I moved on.
Have you not seen it before?
I've seen it, but I don't think I've seen it from start to finish.
I posted on Facebook my appreciation of Pitch Black.
Pitch Black.
It's good, right?
I can definitely see why Chronicles of Riddick is worse than Pitch Black.
I think it depends on who you ask. Because I prefer Pitch Black. I'm a sci-fi creature feature lover type of guy.
Well, I think that's what I think now, and then I'm going to watch. Actually, I'll probably watch Chronicles, and then I'll watch Riddick. I'll watch all three.
Chronicles is for like the people whose sci-fi itch is scratched by Dune.
But I think that's the problem. Is I think Pitch Black was like, you don't know anything about this guy. You barely understand. Like, you don't need to understand the universe.
Right.
there's so much universe building in Chronicles that you're just like, man, I just want to see this dude like kill some stuff.
Like Pitch Black, I love that we're not even talking about the guitar. Pitch Black is like Mad Max.
Yeah.
And then Chronicles of Riddick is like Dune. And then Riddick comes around and is like, oh, we're just going to try to do the first one again.
That's what I read.
Right. They're just trying to do it again, and they didn't do it as well.
But so the wild thing is, because I was looking at this too, is Pitch Black, I think, was like what made like $30 million on a $20 million budget. I think it kind of became like a cult classic.
But I think it did. It's one of those things that it did excellent in Blockbuster.
Yeah.
You know.
Then Chronicles did like $130 million on like $115 million budget.
So it was always just a little bit past this budget profit, right?
But I think Riddick, they went back to like a $30 million budget and still made $100 million. So it's like they had built up the fandom, and I think a lot of people who liked Pitch Black were down to be like, can we just like watch this guy run around and be nuts and not have to like worry about what's going on in the rest of the universe?
Sure.
Don't spoil Riddick for me. I'm not there yet.
I mean, I'll go rewatch Riddick. It's been a couple of years. I remember being like, oh yeah, that was fun, but I didn't think it was as good as the other two.
I feel like, okay, so going back to this guitar, I feel like this guitar.
Why make a tribute guitar to this stupid direct to streaming movie?
Just make it black and white. You know what this could have been wait, what did he say the point of the back pattern was?
I don't know. It's all supposed to look like her clothes or whatever. And like I get that the movie is like
her leather vest. That's supposed to look like a vest?
Visually stunning and stuff, but it's a completely forgettable movie in so many ways. And like I can't wrap my head around someone being like, I've got to make a guitar styled after this movie. But I will say, you know what they could have said this. Okay, I'm always interrupting Steve.
Go ahead. What are you going to say? What will you say, Ryan?
What I will say is I don't hate the direction they're going on with this. I like the two-tone thing. I love the red foil pickup in the neck pickup. The red pickup on top of a black and white guitar.
Yeah.
Excellent. I love that. I don't mind the two-tone thing. The execution here is rough on every part of it, and not rough in a way that I find charming. It's just like it's just hobbled together in a way that I don't find charming at all.
I really don't like the back.
I hate the back.
The theme, I have no frame of reference to that movie, but you know what, when I look at this, and if you told me there's a pop culture theme in this guitar.
All right.
Batman the Animated Series Two-Face. That's what the theme of this should be.
This could be a Two-Face guitar.
This could be a Two-Face guitar.
Totally. But then like, okay, I'm gonna go through details that really set me off on this guitar.
Are you saying that they grind your gears?
My gears are being ground down to
nothing.
Just pulp right now, to metallic dust.
The Mustang switches are like 6 miles apart.
I really hate the control thing that they tried to do here. Like, I get they were trying to cover up. There's probably 4 holes there for the original controls, and like, I don't want 4 holes. I want blues. And like, dude, instead of the Mustang switches, just do 2 3-way switches, and then 2 knobs. Like this whole like it looks like it was cut up with a kitchen knife. This little piece of Tort pick guard to host. I bet you they cut that off of Mustang pickguard. They did not cut that. They didn't cut the hole for that switch.
No, you're right.
There's no way they did.
No, this is
they cut that off of a Mustang pickguard with a kitchen knife or something like that. And then
hopefully not a kitchen knife.
They put a Mustang control plate right above it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make any visual sense at all. None of that works at all. Like, I guess functionally it's fine. Functionally it functions. But it's like, if you're trying to do a theme guitar, like, what even is that? Like, it's so distracting to look at it. They call out the name, the brand of the bridge. It looks just like it looks like a $15 bridge off of Amazon or something like that. Like cheap saddles. It's just a hardtail bridge. It is kind of impressive to put a hardtail Strat bridge on an SG.
Yeah.
I hope that works, you know? Did you see the neck plate on this thing? There's no way.
It's so weird. It's so gross.
What is that? That can't be the stock neck plate. What is that?
It's horrific.
It's a little piece of scrap metal from Home Depot or something like that. It's got two like holes in the middle that don't have screws in it. It's way too small. Did this guitar even originally have a neck plate? Because if it did, this is not it.
I don't know, because the neck is, like it said, the neck is a bolt-on. Golden Age top-loading hardtail bridge is on Amazon. It's $50. So I mean, I guess at $50, that's why you mention it. But
with those saddles, I wouldn't buy that thing for $50. The thing I want to know the most about is the Moto cover on the pick guard, and he doesn't give a good close-up of that. Like, I want to see what that looks like up close.
Moto cover.
Look.
Oh, the headstock.
The headstock.
Yeah.
Not the pick. I'm sorry.
All right. You got anything else
and
on
then
this?
the price is obscene.
Here we go.
The price is obscene, right?
Yeah. What was it? A 700? 750. Yeah. I don't know. All right. Things I appreciate about this ad, despite my reach, which I know is a reach, saying that maybe calling Cruella's hairstyle is yin yang is maybe racist.
That's a reach.
It's a little bit of a reach.
Yeah, save that for more important things.
But what
Dave.
I do appreciate is that this guy made a guitar, which he is saying his theme made his assembled, refinished a guitar that he was inspired to build after
he rethemed
after seeing Disney's Cruella with Emma Stone. That this guitar is maybe named Cruella, but it's a character, so maybe, I get it. It's not named Emma. At no point does he say that he loves to make this pickup scream when he grabs her by the neck. So I'm going to give the seller props for not being gross.
Props.
Because if there was a moment to be gross, I think, like, there's so many words here that I was waiting the entire time I was reading for the gross.
You were waiting for some gross sexual fantasy to come into play.
Yeah, where it's like, oh, okay, so you watched that movie, you got a boner, and you decided to make this guitar.
Right. No one wants to read those words.
Yeah.
And you guys had to listen to us say them. You didn't want to hear those words said. You don't want to read them either.
Ryan?
Yeah.
How do you feel about the Adventurers Club this week?
I'm going to let you say it first.
It's Cruella. That's it for me. It's Cruella.
I really like the Hondo bass.
I like the Hondo bass.
I'm bummed that it's not selling, but obviously the price is wrong. I think I have the biggest feelings about the Cruella guitar, though.
So does that make it a winner?
I think so. I think the Cruella is the winner.
All right, congratulations. That's the numbers guy, right?
Decoy 661. Congratulations, Decoy 661.
All right.
You did it.
You want to hear a song?
I want to hear a song, Steve.
The song was sent by Blue Light Special.
Song. Let me hear that song.
Hey, gents, here's a tune for your end of show segment. Our band, Blue Light Special, released an EP last year. Excuse me. This tune is the last track on it, called Lose the Foe. I actually wrote the lyrics for this one. Our lead singer is the main lyricist, but it was cool to try something new for me. It also features some synth parts I added to beef up the soundscape. I was trying to play producer a little too hard. Enjoy, Matt. Well, thanks, Matt, for sending the song. Here we go.
Never quite the same since you've been gone. Hard to pierce this opaque veil. open to swimming through the waves, crashing down. Storybook scene does be lie. There's no one around, drifting far away. Though you cannot see the flash beyond the stillness, more the fight, more the illness. Maybe meant to be, though you cannot fault the try, for it comes simply. Lose the foe and sink completely. Cold and dark retreat, fear disbands. Don't know how I got this far. Perhaps a guiding hand. Look around and see it's all here. All the things that I live for. Pain go nowhere near. Drifting far away. Though you cannot see the clash beyond the stillness. More the fight, more the illness. Maybe meant to be. Though you cannot fault the try, for it comes simply. Lose the foe and sink completely. Yeah. Sink completely.
It's a fun song.
Yeah.
It's got a nice like vibe to it. It's put me in the mood to relax the rest of the night.
Made me think a lot about shopping at Kmart
Yeah.
because they're called blue light special.
Yeah, because of the blue light specials. Can't do that anymore.
It's a joke.
No Kmart's around, right?
Nope.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Stay grounded.